Welcome. In front of me is a Xiaomi POCO M7, and today I'll show you how you can record screen on this device. So, to get started, you will want to swipe down from the top of your screen and then that once more to extend the list of visible toggles. Now, somewhere between here, we should have our screen recorder. If it's not visible, like it's not on my end, we can add it, and we can do so by going to the second page, clicking on the edit right here. And below, we'll see right here in the grayer tone area, all the toggles that we can add. Now, let's find our screen recorder, which is at the very bottom. So we're going to hold it, and you can see you can now just drag it along, drag it to the top, select done, and we have access to it right here. So once you have your screen recorder added, first time around, before you start recording, I would recommend holding it, and this will take you to the settings. Now in here, there are just a couple options that I recommend changing. So resolution, if it's not set to basically the highest one, 1920 by 18 or 886, I recommend changing it to that. This is just what could be considered like a standard resolution. 720 is we're not in like 2000s anymore. So anyway, another thing in here is the video quality. This one can stay at 16 megabits. Increasing it will also increase the amount of space that the recording will take. And this is generally the description of how much storage it will take. So it's going to be basically 16 megabits. So this is also per second. So if you double it to select the 32, obviously you're now consuming twice as much storage for the same length of video recording. Now, the benefit here is that at lower bit rates, your footage might look a little bit, maybe not grainy. In motion, it might lose quality, fidelity. And then when you stop it, it regains it. So that's basically what the bitrate does. It tries to cut away details as much as it can to give you this bitrate that you want. And the higher it is, the lower the screen recording needs to struggle with basically trying to mitigate some quality. We can take it from here just so it looks overall just better, right? So by setting it up higher, you basically remove that possibility of having this kind of grainy, boxy kind of look in the motion where things just lose colors sometimes, where it's just kind of more like a block of an area where it's just more of a similar color in one area instead of just having actual sharp image looking. That's kind of how it happens. And sometimes you can also experience this, for instance, in watching maybe Netflix or something along those lines. Sometimes you will see that in dark scenes where you have video, a dark scene where there's a visible line where there's for instance, grayer and then black. This also is kind of caused by low bit rate. So anyway, select whichever one you want, and you can obviously test it out, see if the fidelity is there, which you're looking for at 16. It should, but you can select it at 24. I don't recommend going above that, as we're only dealing with a 1080p resolution. Now, last thing here is going to be the frame rate. Now, we have several options, 24 being set by default for some god-awful reason. So I recommend changing it to 60. Now we can go to 90, but that is honestly more of a diminishing return, as if you're recording this for purposes of, uploading it to YouTube as an example, YouTube doesn't use 90 frames. It only does 60. So anything above that, like I said, is just kind of lost, which means it's diminishing returns. And that will also kind of impact the bitrate. Obviously, you're now having more frames that need to be generated and recorded while still keeping the same bitrate. So it will depend on your settings primarily. In general, 60 frames, 1080p, and 16 megabits should get you good enough quality to the point that you probably won't really tell the difference. If you can, change it to 24. I don't really recommend going above that. And otherwise, 90 can also be utilized if you really want to, but just know that primarily you will be the one viewing it on your display at 90 frames. Most kind of monitors at work and whatnot, YouTube and just general platforms like Instagrams and all that don't really support 90 or 120. They only do at 60. So you kind of lose that. For your personal use, this would be great. And other than that, it's kind of redundant. So one last thing that I want to talk about is the show button taps and touch gestures. So here you can enable these. So basically on the recording, it will be visible where your finger was basically interacting with the display. It's something that you can enable if you want. For game purposes, it might look a little bit distracting, so I won't be bothering with this, though I am going to actually enable this one just so you can see how that looks like. Now anyway, let's close this up. You have actually no options there to save. It just automatically changes and keeps it. So now let's find this toggle and tap on it to toggle it on, and this will bring up the notification to allow Recorder to send you notifications. We don't really need that. And for some reason also opened up settings. We can close this up as all we want is this overlay. So to start recording, you're just going to press on the record button. There we go. And let's open up some kind of application. I'm going to first open up app that I know for a fact I can't record. And it's not because I don't have internet connection. But in general, you wouldn't be able to record it. Let's also open up something that I know I can record, like Xiaomi Home. There we go. So once you're done, you can interact with this overlay. Click on the stop or the basically square, and this will save the recording to your Photos Gallery application. Now, mind it, we also have a couple options in here. Most importantly, we have the folder icon. The folder icon takes you to the location where you have only screen recordings and nothing else. The two other buttons, well, three other ones, we have the settings, which you can obviously access by holding the toggle like I did, close to get rid of this overlay, and obviously the record. So let's get rid of this and move on to our gallery. I'll be using Gallery for this as it's just one that I prefer over Google Photos. It has a bit better layout for things like screenshots and screen recordings. And I'm going to allow all. Now, in the Photos tab, you will see your screen recordings and also screenshots. But later on, if you're trying to find something that you captured some time ago, it might be easier to navigate to the albums, which is the second tab right here, and then locate album called Screenshots and Screen Recordings. Now, it is cut out, but that's basically what it says, and you can see it a little bit clearer right here. When you click on it, it automatically defaults to the Screenshot tab. So from here, you just select Screen Recording, and voila, it just shows you only screen recordings. Makes it super easy to find whatever screen recording in particular you would be looking for. And obviously removes that need for you to go through like entire library of media. Whatever. And you can see it's playing back. Now I do want to talk about this, what I wanted to kind of showcase here, but I wasn't able to because no internet connection. So platforms like Netflix, Spotify, and for instance, bank applications, and so on, have the ability to block screen recorders, and they obviously use that ability. And what will happen when you open up such an application is instead of seeing, for instance, something like this, you will see just a straight black screen and nothing on it. And this feature is part of Android, designed to protect the privacy and security of the user. Now, with that in mind, this feature isn't always being used for that purpose. So in case of bank application, it is done for your security. If you imagine that you open up some kind of bank app and you start typing in your PIN and you have some malware that is straight up just seeing what you're typing in, you can imagine how that would be vulnerable to the security of your bank. So obviously it's being blocked and this kind of malware can't see literally anything. But where it kind of falls apart, this kind of logic for your security and safety is with streaming platforms like this god-awful garbage right here, Netflix, Spotify, for instance, which do it just to basically prevent piracy. Now, as far as I can tell, this is your effing device, not theirs. You're not responsible for protecting their privacy. It's on their freaking job to basically protect it without interfering with how you can use your device. And because they seem to not get this damn idea, I'm going to be showing you how you can record whatever you might be wanting to record or capture a screenshot of whatever content you might be trying to capture. Because you should be sure as shit able to do so when you pay for the damn platform. So, because of that, I'm going to just show you what you can do instead, if you're interested, to basically get whatever Netflix, Spotify offers for free. So let me just quickly connect to network as I will need it. Oops. Okay, so there we go. We're now connected. Cool. So we're going to go into our browser. We don't need any application for this. Come on. There we go. Where did you redirect me? There we go. So we're going to go to pstream.mov. This is the first one that I use myself. Now I will recommend having some kind of a DNS, for instance, ad blocking on your device. And when interacting with any of this content, I do also recommend installing their plugin. As you can see, they do offer one. If you don't, you can still use it, but sometimes you might encounter that when it goes to repositories that it tries to get this info from, it just might not load it. So obviously that just makes it a little bit annoying. But just in case, you can use the default one, no plugin required. And you can see here the repositories that it looks for. And let's see if it finds anything. Oh, found on the first try. And come on, skip intro maybe. Another thing that downloading the plugin does, from what I can tell, is also allows it to load a little bit faster. This is a bit slow. Could be due to internet at work. Oh no, it just failed to load it. Okay, cool. So you can see it went through a bunch of other ones, and hopefully this time it will load it. I know Greenland 2 isn't the greatest movie, but like, come on. Come on. I guess some more scanning. Seems like I picked the wrong thing to try to play right here. Well, let's try maybe something else that might be a little bit more suited for actually like loading it up. Now this looks like it actually might require the plugin to function correctly. This is a little bit ridiculous for loading it, and for convenience it kind of stops. Yep, okay, there you go. So sometimes it won't load it. So yeah, plugin seems to be actually a little bit more important. So I would recommend maybe trying it out. You can also look for something like CloudStream on GitHub, and for Spotify, and also this would also include YouTube, for instance, or YouTube Music. You can use Revanced. It's basically like an area where you can just download a couple of the applications that have been modified to, for instance, YouTube, be able to watch it without the ads and play in background and all that jazz, along with Spotify and YouTube Music also working without any kind of subscription, without ads and all that crap. So those are great options, and obviously they can allow you to capture video screenshots of them without much of a problem. And yeah, anyway, with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful. I did try to give you a little bit of a alternative means of maybe capturing something that you didn't want, that you couldn't capture, just because I despise the fact that something like Netflix can literally dictate how you are able to use your own device. So if you found that helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.